Welcome back, folks. This is Swab, and today we have a haul video going on. We have a whole lot of manga and light novels that I got for the month of April, and we're going to take a look at each one of them and what I'm going to be covering in the near future. So without further ado, let's go check it out. Okay, so these first two books are actually from a genre that I'm not really used to at all. These are going to be shoujo titles, and growing up as a kid, I never got into these titles. I recognized them, but I never got into them. Shoujos didn't appeal to me. But, after I created this channel, I like to show off deluxe edition manga, deluxe products, premium products, and so that you guys can see what they look like. Now, these products aren't necessarily new, but there are some newer products in the shoujo line that I do want to show off when they come out in the future, because I don't want to discriminate. I'm not anti-shoujo. I'm going to show off every single otaku-like deluxe product that there is, because that's really my passion. That's what I want to do here for you all. So the first title I'm going to be showing you all today, it is Sailor Moon The Eternal Edition. This is a huge-ass manga book. It is called, in the back it says, the new definitive edition of the classic manga. I never grew up watching Sailor Moon. I never grew up reading Sailor Moon. So this is going to be a whole new experience for me. And I like to read things before I review them, and or even showcase them, not necessarily review them, because Sailor Moon is obviously a very old series. No one wants to hear what my review opinion is on this story. And this is a well-beloved series, but I do want to showcase the quality of this book. And when I do the showcase, actually this book is really awesome. It has like glossy pages. It has a really nice color pages as well. So this is going to be a really fun book to dive into and be able to showcase to you all. But this is just one of the two shoujo titles that I did pick up recently. The second shoujo title that I picked up for the channel, it is Cardcaptor Sakura, the Collector's Edition. Now this is a much more beast than the actual one, because this is actually a hardcover. The other one was a soft cover. And I really love like the foiling that they have here going on. It's like a rose gold foiling, and it really makes the inside picture pop out really out there. And it has a nice thing going on. It even comes with like a little collectible card. I guess we'll see what that's all about. I didn't want to break the seal of this one yet, just because I want to showcase the little sticker on here when I do the video for it. But nonetheless, I think this one's going to be fun because it's more recognizable for me. I know a lot of other guys are into Cardcaptor Sakura as well, so I'm going to see what this one is all about. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the one manga title that I was really looking forward to for the month of April, and that is Goblin Slayer Daikatana Volume 1 for the manga. I did a review for the light novel of this. I do have the first volume of it, and so I wanted to really see what the visuals were like inside the manga, because I really enjoyed the light novel, and I just really love Goblin Slayer as a whole. I'm in love with the series, so anything related to Goblin Slayer is pretty much like a must-buy for me. So definitely I'm going to be putting this one on the channel and showing you all what the manga is like on the inside. So be sure to check that one out very soon. Another light novel series that has a manga adaptation is Berserk of Gluttony. Now, Berserk of Gluttony was probably one of my most favorite reads in terms of light novel books so far. And I was just really in love with it, and I wanted to get the manga. So same thing with Goblin Slayer, because I wanted to see what the visuals were like. And the manga, I read this one pretty quickly. It was actually pretty decent. You get to see a lot of the visuals for a lot of the characters that you don't normally see in the light novels. They don't picture everybody in there. But this one was actually pretty fun, so I think this one might be a very quick video as well. But we'll definitely keep on continuing with Berserk of Gluttony, because I know the story gets way crazier beyond this first volume of the manga based on the light novel. So it's definitely going to be awesome to see how the visuals go when you see the rest of the monsters in the world. It's going to be a really cool and awesome visual. So the next titles I have up are a little more adult oriented. They have that little label on there. So the first one being Superheroes by 7 Seas. I know there's like an anime out for it. I saw it like in the Funimation app, and I didn't really check out the anime though, because I wanted to see what this was all about going in blindly. But I know that it's supposed to be sort of like a ecchi take on superheroes, I guess. I mean, it has like the little parental advisory symbol down here, so obviously thumbs up going on over there. But I remember reading the synopsis of this, and it just sounded a little spicy, so I was like, you know what, let me go check this out. Let me see if the manga is all good in that, and then see if anyone else would like this after I put my take on this book. But nonetheless, this is going to be a pretty cool book. Let me see if I can open up a visual real quick, and so maybe something that's a little more appropriate. But yeah, they have like a little cover page here, I guess, with a bunch of girls. But I'm completely blind when it comes to this series, so we'll see what it's all about very soon. Now, this next one is actually fairly popular. I've seen some good reviews about it. I've seen some images about it too. and I knew I just had to pick it up because it's so spicy and it's so interesting. I wanted to see what it was all about, and that is, please put them on Takaminesan. And I just know the bit of the synopsis where it's supposed to be about some girl, probably like a student, and she has some sort of time warping, time bending abilities, but the only way for her to activate that is for her to take off her underwear. Now I don't know if she has to necessarily do that in public, or I don't know what's going on, but I just saw some screenshots and I was like, all right, yeah, I gotta pick this one up. So definitely we'll be covering this one on the channel. And Takamine-san is one of those that's also really popular out in Japan. I think there's like a few other volumes as well, but it's been doing very successfully, so I really want to see what this series is going forward. And Yen Press usually doesn't let me down with their titles whenever they translate and publish them in English here. So I'm pretty sure this one is going to fit the bill for the stuff that I'm interested in. Speaking of Yen Press, I got yet another manga from them, and that is Do You Like the Nerdy Nurse? Now, when I first saw this book, I didn't really look too much into it. I thought it was going to be another one of those like adult ecchi ones, but I didn't see any like of those parental advisory labels anywhere over the book. So I think it's going to be a nice wholesome one about a nerdy nurse, obviously. But I think the reason I really wanted this one is because I wanted a manga that I can just read, and it was like a one-stop shop. It didn't have to continue on with multiple volumes, and there was no take of like volume 1 or anything like that on this book. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be a standalone one-shot book, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what this nerdy nurse is all about. Now this next one is one of my personal favorites of all time, and that is Grand Blue Dreaming Volume 12. Now Grand Blue Dreaming, if you're not familiar with this title yet, first of all, shame on you. Second of all, it is a slice of life comedy about a boy who just graduated high school, wants to go to college, and he joins a diving club. And so you learn a little bit about diving in this book, but it's mostly about the comedy and the basically the atmosphere of the guy getting drunk, being around beautiful women, being around muscular guys who are half naked half the time. And so it's just really awesome. It's really hilarious. This is really honestly the one title that makes me physically laugh out loud when I read it. Like, I'd be sitting next to my wife, she's watching TV, and I'm reading this book, and I just started laughing like crazy, and she's just looking at me all weird because she's never seen me laugh like this out loud. I usually just keep it all to my head, but this series is literally the one title, the funniest title that I've ever had, and so I'm glad that I'm continuing on, and they're putting out more volumes. I did make a mistake though. I thought I had volume 11, but I didn't, so I have to go back and buy volume 11. And one of the things that I noticed about this book is that it has an 18 plus label on it. I don't recall any of the previous ones having this label on it, and I tried checking some of them real quick and I didn't really see anything. So I wonder if there's anything super spicy in this one in particular, or are they just regulating this title more and just putting it in 18 plus because the guys are like naked half the time, or pretty much almost all the time. But regardless, it's a really fun series, and this is something that I just really enjoyed, and hopefully some of you pick this title up too at some point, because this is an amazingly funny series. That's going to wrap it up for the manga, so now let's move on to the light novels. And these first two ones are pretty obvious. If you've been following me, I've been collecting the reprints of these, and that is Haruhi Suzumiya. So this is, I believe, the Wavering, the other one's the Rampage. Haruhi Suzumiya is one of those light novel series that's just very highly regarded. Just to regurgitate everything over again, they used to be out in hardcover format by Yen Press, and they've been out of print ever since. Now Yen Press is reprinting them as softcover books, and so you can get them now as softcover books. I believe each month they're reprinting 2 books, and I believe maybe in June or July, that's when we'll be caught up, and then they're going to be publishing the new titles that just released in Japan, so they have plans to release those pretty soon as well. So that is Haruhi Suzumiya. Next up is a title that needs no introduction, and you all know it's my favorite. It is Goblin Slayer Volume 11. I'm almost caught up with Goblin Slayer. I'm trying to read them in between reading newer books too as I'm reviewing them. Goblin Slayer is one of those that I probably won't get to doing videos for. As far as reviews, maybe I'll do like a catch-up series with them. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but regardless, it's one of those titles that I just love to read whenever I have the time. And when I looked inside, it has a really cool insert. It has a really cool fold-out poster. I want to see if I could show it off real quickly. So it has a cool Goblin Slayer on the front, and it has the hero on the back. So it's really cool to see the hero in a full color visual like this. It's really awesome thing that Yen Press does with these inserts. So that's going to be Goblin Slayer Volume 11. The next book I have on the list is Unnamed Memory Volume 2. Now, I have not yet read Volume 1. I heard it's good. I heard some mixed things about it too. But one of the common things I heard is that it's a very big slog to read through. And when I open this up, yeah, the font size is pretty small when it comes to these books. In terms of light novels, it's a pretty small font size, and it's a pretty big book too. So it's going to be a while before I read through these. And I think with Unnamed Memory, I want to do it where it's like, I want to do a new segment where these light novels that maybe came out in 2020, as far as volume 1s go, I didn't get a chance to read them and review them as they came out. And so I want to be able to do like some sort of catch up or double feature segment where I do the first 2 volumes of a book and review them both as one segment to see whether or not the story really progresses well between volumes 1 and 2. But obviously that's going to be a while before I do that. But we have some cool inserts going on for Unnamed Memory. And I'm really excited to looking forward to this. I heard it's like a fantasy romance story. And, you know, I've heard some good things about it, but we'll see what happens when I read through it. So that's Unnamed Memory. This next title is one that me and my wife had a whole lot of fun with the anime, and that is Buffooty. Buffooty is, what's the name? I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. That's right. It's a pretty long title, but regardless, I heard that the light novel actually had a much different take on the story, whereas the anime was sort of more lighthearted and focused on Maple being a klutz, whereas the light novel really focuses on the stats and the progression and that sort of stuff. So I'm really excited to dive into the light novel and just see how the story progresses compared to the anime. And this will probably be one of the first light novels that I do when I come back to doing light novel reviews. So you probably noticed in my channel I haven't done a light novel review in a while, but I will be posting some more light novel reviews probably near the beginning of May, just because I've been so caught up in the light novels to the point where I got to the point where I was reading a light novel, finished it, then immediately recorded, posted a video. And so I want to be in a place where I probably have at least 3 or 4 books that are done, recorded, and in a library somewhere, so that I can schedule them out and post them while I'm also reading up new ones. So I'm not trying to catch up every single time and trying to blaze through them. But this will be a quick read, so this will probably be one of the first ones that I do when I come back to doing light novel reviews back in May. So look forward to that one. The last light novel that I have here, it is from J Novel Club, and that is Seirei Gensuki Spirit Chronicles. Now, the reason I picked this up is because when J Novel Club, they're basically a publisher that does mostly digital, and when they do decide to pick a book and put it on physical format, it usually means that it did really well in sales. It's very highly regarded, highly rated, and so I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be let down when it comes to a book by J Novel Club in physical format. So here we have the Spirit Chronicles cover. It has some cutesy artwork in the back too. So, you know, the art really intrigued me. I have no idea what this series is all about, but I heard some really good stuff about it, and this is an omnibus format, I believe. Yeah, omnibus 1 here in the corner. So this one collects the first 2 volumes of Spirit Chronicles. So I really want to see what this story is all about, and I think it's actually a long-running series too over in Japan. So I think it's going to be quite a few omnibus volumes that they're going to print out. So looking forward to this one. And that is going to wrap up our haul for the month of April 2021. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you think of the titles that I picked up. And let me know what titles you picked up in April or even back in March. I'm really interested to see what my followers are reading, what they're buying, so I can get a sort of a gauge as to what you guys are into. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe, because I will be posting a lot of reviews for a lot of these books that I just showed you. Whether they're reviews, showcases, whatever the case is, I'm going to be pretty much putting them on this channel in some way, shape, or form. So be sure to check those out when they do come out.